Welcome to ADHD Power Tools, where we give you the tools to unlock the power within. Hello, Brooke. Today, I want to talk to you about analysis paralysis. I want you to, what is analysis paralysis? And for our audience, for those of us who don't know what it is, and what are some tools that we can help manage and control analysis paralysis?
This is what I think of when I think of analysis paralysis.
Yeah, the thinking man. What do you call it?
The thinker.
The thinker. There you go.
Many of us with ADHD are perfectionists, which then turns into procrastination.
Exactly.
So
Yep.
analysis paralysis is overthinking of the situation, overanalyzing a situation that stops you from moving forward. And actually, if you're not moving forward, you know what I always say, you're moving backwards. So it's typically because of fear that you're going to be wrong, or you're going to fail. But again, if you're not making the decision, you're just sitting there overthinking, overanalyzing, and you get stressed out and you shut down and your executive functions get exhausted. So a couple of different situations that I would love to share with you. Actually, on my group call today for 3C activation, I was dealing with something like this with one of my clients, and she is looking to get her visa to come back to the US. She's 90% done. That last 5%, she's overwhelmed with fear because she's afraid that she's not going to get her visa. So analysis paralysis kicks in. Do I finish it? Do I not? But what ends up happening, rationally, she knows that if she doesn't do that last 5%, then she can't come to the US regardless. But she's in such overwhelm and dread over the fear of not getting the visa. And it goes with the same thing with perfectionism. I mean, I've worked with so many individuals who are working on theses and dissertations, and when they're writing their summary, they don't think that the information that they have is good enough, so that they keep researching and keep researching and never turn it in and don't go anywhere. So that's where the logical piece of people really don't kick in. And what I suggest to a lot of clients is, if you're a perfectionist because you're afraid that it's not going to be perfect, talk to a friend, a paper or whatever, and have them just quickly look at it and say, you're good to go. And then just press send. And whatever it is, it is. If you have set your goal to work on something for X amount of time, and you really feel deep down inside that you have looked at all your options, you've done as much as you can, just click send, do what you need to do, and finish that chapter of whatever it is that's going on in your life, and move on and move forward. It's never going to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. Because if there was a such thing as perfect, time would stop. So what's perfect 2 seconds ago is no longer perfect.
That's a very good point. It's a very good point. And I agree, perfectionism does lead to procrastination.
And if you want to get rid of the procrastination, you have to drop your perfectionism.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. They're inversely proportional. It's funny because I'm a college student, and this makes so much sense, because say I have an essay or an exam, and I'm overthinking how I am going to start this. The introduction, the body paragraph, the conclusion, the idea, the notes, the flashcards, that leads to me putting it off. That anxiety leads to me putting it off. And even that anxiety right there leads to me not enjoying the process. So having enough humility to set the bar low enough, and just do like the smallest thing you can. Have like a 30-minute window where you do something, and just realize you're not going to finish it, but you're going to do a little part of it.
Yeah.
You're not going to finish it. Face the fact that it's not going to be done, that it's not going to be perfect. But if you do, and do enough work and put in enough hard work, which is the complete opposite of procrastination, um, it's going to come out better than trying to make it perfect. And I've
Yeah.
realized that a lot. Just do it. Just this Nike slogan. That's why Nike's so big. It's just do it. And
If
uh,
not now, then when, right?
if not now, then when? There you go. There you go.
If you need
And
a sign, this is it, right? All
that's
those
ex- that,
slogans.
that's a motto right there. If not now, then when? Um, the smallest thing, the smallest chunk. Don't overthink it. Overthinking is one of, from what I know, especially with my friends and colleagues and college students. There's so much going on, things coming at you left and right, and overthinking is one of the biggest struggles we all deal with. Especially, I mean, not only college students, but everybody out there. It's like with our relationships, with our emotions, with our schoolwork, our work, and everything. Just do it. Try to stay as productive as you can. It doesn't have to be the biggest thing you do. It could be the smallest thing, but at least you did something.
Yeah, and going back to like keeping it really small for the dissertation piece, if you're about to start, have you ever heard of the 1% rule?
Talk to me about that.
Talk to me. That's doing 1% of the outcome every time you work at it. So let's say you have a dissertation that you have to do. Do
Okay.
1% of it every time you work on it.
Okay.
So if you work on it every day and you do 1% every day,
Hmm.
then how long does it take you to finish?
Exactly. Takes 100 days.
And how long is 100 days?
It's 3 months almost, something like
Yeah,
that.
about that.
Yeah, 3 months and
Not
like
that long
nine
when you
nine
think of it
days.
that way, right?
It's not that long. It's really for some it's long, but it really isn't. We think it's long, but it really isn't.
Yeah, yeah, but that's why so many of us ADHDers, not only because it's not like dopamine kick anymore, but that's why so many of us have so many tabs open and unfinished tasks because that last 5% is always the hardest than the first
Hmm. Hmm.
95%, you
Hmm.
know? So you just get to the point where you enlist in a trusted source and you say, okay, this is what I did. Can you review it? Okay, done. Or think about what's the worst case scenario? Like, if I
Hmm.
decide to make a decision to make a big change in my life, right? Or make
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
small change in my life,
Hmm.
what's the worst that's going to happen? You cannot really control the outcome. You can only control the planning that goes
Hmm.
into it and the knowledge that you have to make that gut decision
Hmm. Hmm.
and make a decision or be done with something. So,
Yeah, planning is key. That's where all the overthinking happens when you're trying to plan something. And it's like you have so many things on your to do list. And because you have so many things, it's like, where do I start? What do I do? And while you're doing one of your things, you just freaking out about the other thing. But it's
yeah.
like, no, it's okay. You have 24 hours in your day, and there's enough time, and you just have to do a little bit of each. And like you said, listen, if it's not going to happen in 1 month, it'll happen in 3 months. But at least it's going to happen. At least it's going to be finished.
Yeah, yeah. And I had someone in my course today saying that she had 70 to-dos. I said, whoa, 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 step back. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
okay, first of all, figure out what your priorities are and plan
Exactly.
out goals for
Hmm.
yourself for
Hmm.
3 months. And then put some of those other to-dos in opportunities to explore after those 3 months. Or
Exactly.
think about like if it's really something that you need to do, or if someone
Hmm.
else can do it for you, or you can delegate it, or just take
Hmm.
it off your to-do list completely.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, 100%. I bought a book the other day, and it's so annoying because I'm reading one book at the moment, and it's called Viruses, Plagues, and Their History. And I have another one called The Chemical Age. I got the first one, and I'm doing well. I'm reading it, but I'm so annoyed because I haven't had time to read the other. But I've realized I shouldn't be annoyed. it's okay. I'm reading this book and it will come. Like you said, put it in the opportunity
Yeah,
box.
yeah,
Finish your priorities first. The book doesn't have to be a priority. Don't make everything a priority, and
yeah.
make some of it an opportunity.
And
Make
also,
some.
it goes back to mindset. I mean, so many of us are gap focused. You do 60% of your to-dos, and then you think about that 40% that's not done. That's the gap, right?
Mhm,
But
mhm.
think about how much you've
Exactly.
accomplished and how far you've come. And that's where like journaling comes in, or taking a look at your scheduled tasks that you've actually accomplished weekly and daily,
Mhm,
and making you look at, wow, I really did get so much done, and
mhm, mhm,
enjoying that moment.
mhm, mhm. And if there's too much, pop a little yoga and there's some meditation and relax, and it'll all get better.
But yes, yeah, such good tools. And also just knowing the value in what you're doing, and understanding your priorities, and just knowing and trusting the information that you have, and trusting your gut, because
100%.
your gut is almost always right.
Trust yourself. Very key. You need to trust yourself. You need to love yourself and really forgive yourself too.
Yeah.
Sometimes. 100%. 100%.